you two, when you get a chance, the little headset. All right.
It's just one membership at Clark County Credit Union. Isn't it time for you to join? You want to keep you in that book? Yes. Spending money on protecting your capital.
Yep. Thank you. Jared seems to think he's close to finding a solution to this. We'll see. We will see. Yeah, I don't know if he's close to finding. Yeah. You know, Ty, you're a good man. You let me know that I'm able to be heard. Thank you. That's important.
GiveMeTheVin.com is America's best hardware. Paying top dollar for your car, truck, sports car, exotic. What are you waiting for? We want to buy your car right now. Find out why thousands of satisfied customers across the United States put more money in their pocket by going to GiveMeTheVin.com. I told my buyers, let's get them bought. Right now is the time to go. Sell that fair square. The TVs done. So easy.
On March 6th, Benjamin hit 5, clearing his gallon bonus $400 card for over $16,000. Benjamin hit big and so cute.
With thanks for coming in, everyone. Ryan Wilson, right?
You're listening to the JT the Brick Show, where the Raider Nation has come to sound off and react for over 20 years.
It's time for JT the Brick. This is a new regime led by Antonio Pierce, a former player who's won a Super Bowl. Our vision is clear. Win a division. He's the right guy at the right time for this job. Right guy, right time to get the Raiders back, not to greatness, to the playoffs.
Our intention of how we play, the execution of our play, the mindset of our team, that's what I'm looking for. I would love to see Antonio Pierce have the opportunity to coach this Raider team. I think he deserves it.
JT the Brick. This coach wants to be more physical. He wants to put his hands on players.
Got the drawing rooms, and I'm calling out from now on, going around there and passing the home.
I like when the head coach says this. I'm a season ticket holder.
Swing him out of the
Antonio Pierce wants to get the black hole back to where it was in the Coliseum and hope what's up. And now, here's JT the Brick.
Every day, JT, today as I'm putting together the show tweet to start the show, man, we are flying. Let's get rolling here on the flagship of the Silver and Black. This is Raider Nation Radio, 9:20 a.m. and streaming live on YouTube, where we're right there. You could be our 3,000 subscriber in less than 2 months, man. I'm proud of that, man. My son came up with this YouTube idea, and we love the fact that people are joining us. So jump on board if you can. Watch the show live as we're getting you ready for the season coming up here. We're getting you ready for the draft, which is our absolute priority. And we're hoping to get Raider fans who are really excited about what's in front of us. Most importantly, what are we going to do with the 13th pick overall? Do I have an idea? No, I don't have an idea. Do I have wants and needs? Absolutely. And that's what we're trying to do today. Wants and needs. We're trying to figure out what's the big need that's happening now with the Raiders. What is the need that we all have to look at and say, that's the guy? That's the guy that we need. That's the player that we need. And how the hell are we going to be able to go get that player? That's up to Tom Telesco with the cooperation of the entire organization coming together, especially the scouting department and what the scouting department is able to do. And what's going to happen is everybody works together as a team to knock it out of the park and give us an opportunity to have the best team available coming out of the draft. Because as I've said, I think the Raiders are getting closer and closer to being a perennial playoff team, which is get me the franchise quarterback, find a way to do something like that, get a player that could be a difference maker, one or two more, and the next thing you know, maybe the Raiders are there. That's all. I'm looking at teams like the Houston Texans. Come on. Houston Texans 2 years ago were bleeping doormat. Other teams were not very good. Now we're in a situation now where we got to find the players that can turn us quickly into the Houston Texans. How about that? Or the Jacksonville Jaguars, who recently went to the playoffs. We got to jump over some teams in the AFC, including the AFC West. Right? I think we're the second best team in the AFC West. Let that be clipped and said. How about this, Bobby? I want to stand up and get going now. I'm rolling. Let this be said and put this in the blogosphere. We're the best team, second best team. I'll repeat. We, the Raider Nation, are the second best team in the AFC West. We've been blowing out the Donkeys 8 in a row. I repeat, 8 in a row, 4 seasons of firing their coaches, firing Vic Fangio. They got fired, Nathaniel Hackett, because they lost to the Raiders, not the Chargers, not the Chiefs. They can't handle losing to the Raiders. You can't beat the Raiders, you're fired. And that goes for you, Sean Payton. You see me looking into the YouTube? That goes for you. If you can't beat the Raiders in 2 years, you're going to get blown out. So we're better than Denver. Fact, not fiction. And I think we're better than the Chargers. Last I looked, the Chargers got the 5th pick overall. Raiders got 13 because the Raiders had a better record. And the Chargers got cap issues. The Chargers are not very good. They're always injured. There's always people picking them to win the AFC. The hell with the Chargers. We're not here to placate to the Chargers. We're not the friends of the Chargers. We're better than the Chargers. So we're the second best team in the AFC West. And all you got to do is try to hunt down the best team that's trying to become a dynasty. They're already a dynasty. They're trying to do the three-peat. Wow, what a tall task that is. I mean, you basically got Mike Tyson in his prime in your division, and you got to figure out a way to beat him. That's hard to do. Never said that was going to be easy to do. That is hard to do any way you try to spin it. But then what about the rest of the teams that are out there? What's going to happen with them? The rest of the teams, such as Houston, such as Jacksonville, Cleveland, Baltimore, and Pittsburgh. Remember, we didn't want Russell Wilson, and we didn't want Justin Fields. You know who did? Pittsburgh. And they've been beating us since the 70s. They took Russell Wilson, and they took Justin Fields and said, hey, we're back. So we got to keep an eye on them. Who am I forgetting? The Jets? Jets are vastly improved. This ain't the same little Jet team that came into Allegiant last year. The Jets are better with Aaron Rodgers. We all know that, and the players that they've added. They're all in. They want our guys. They're all in. So the Jets think they're good. I think Buffalo is taking a step back. How many teams could we say here in the monologue in the AFC have taken a step back? That's a good topic. Other than Buffalo, who's taken a step back? Not Baltimore. I don't think so. Kansas City, absolutely not. The Chargers have. The Chargers have because they didn't win many games. Jacksonville didn't play well last year, so I think they did. Denver, forget about Denver, Bobby. We're not even going to talk about Denver. Cincinnati, well, Joe Burrow's never healthy. Let's get that elephant in the room out. He's never healthy. But when he's healthy, Cincinnati's probably got as good of a roster, if not better than the Raiders. Cleveland's really good. Cleveland's really good. And they're going to get Deshaun Watson one of these years to play great. Not good because he's that type of athlete. But Cleveland has some problems along the way. And then when we go to the AFC South, the Titans were a thorn in our side recently. They're not very good anymore. So you look at the AFC South and you're looking around there. And Indy, we got Gardner Minshew from them. We took away Gardner Minshew from Indy. Indy's okay. I think Indy, we're better than Indy. But how could I say that? Didn't Indy beat us last year? Didn't Jeff Saturday come into Allegiant and beat us? Right? So how much better are we than Indy? So with all these teams that are here, we are competing, not against ourselves, the AFC, not against the AFC West. We're competing against the entire AFC. I am going into this season again, responsible, like everybody should be. I'd love a wild card. Whatever it takes to get to a wild card, I'll take it. Okay? Because you think a team that's going for a three-peat in Kansas City that's loaded is going to just relinquish the division. But we finally have the attitude to beat Kansas City and try to win the division and do it now. That win on Christmas was big. It was a big win because it reminded Kansas City that we're here and we're going to be here for a fight. And we want to get them in the trenches and we want a fist fight. And we have the Mahomes rules now because our coach told us that. That's not some of us on the radio making it up. We now have the Mahomes rules where we're going after that guy and we're letting everybody know it. So that's where we stand here today. See how I got all ranted up for 8 minutes, but I got nothing. I got nothing other than another draft guy. That's what I do every day. I got Jeff Sherman over at the Westgate. VP of Risk Management. He joins us every other Tuesday on what happened yesterday with Yukon. I got that wrong. I thought Yukon would win, but Purdue would cover. They got blown out, Purdue. Yukon's a beast. That was amazing. I'm going to spend some time on that. Brady Cannon at the bottom of the hour, my longtime friend, one of my best friends, who's one of the great Masters insiders for golf. Yes, I talk Masters. I'm talking Masters this week. Turn it up. If you tune out, good luck. Find something better in town than me right now. I'm spending time on the Masters. It's a tradition unlike any other. Tiger Woods spoke today. Tiger Woods is amazing. He thinks he can win. He goes, I love the Tiger press conference Tuesday at the Masters. He literally thinks he can win. They ask him the same question they ask him all the time, and Tiger pauses and kind of smirks when everyone's like, how you feeling, Tiger? Are you injured? How do you work out? How'd you even get here to Augusta? How you doing it? And Tiger just sits back and laughs about it. And this is what he said today.
Together, I think I can get one more. I need more than that, or is it?
So everybody laughs because that's something that they do every year at the Masters. Some knucklehead in the media says, hey, Tiger, do you think you can win? Can you imagine asking Michael Jordan, Muhammad Ali, do you think you can win? Every year the dummies ask him that at Augusta. Hey, Tiger, do you think you can win? He's never missed a cut. He's in really good shape. He's in perfect shape now. He's in as good a shape as he could be. So we're going to get into that with Brady and Jeff a little bit later on in the show here. So if you want to get your Raiders in, do it now, 702-365-9200. And again, I personally believe the quarterback quandary becomes interesting now. I put up that poll yesterday. Most people want to get the quarterback by trading up. So you have spoken in the Raider Nation. You want to move up. You want to get the quarterback. I'm aware of that. So do I. We also know how expensive it's going to be. Every guest that I have on every day who's a draft insider. Tomorrow we have Lee Steinberg, the super agent. He's going to tell us how to go up and get a quarterback. Oh, nothing. He only represented Steve Young, Troy Aikman, Warren Moon, Ben Roethlisberger, and currently Patrick Mahomes. I got the guy on. I'm going to ask him, how do you get up from 13 to 2 and get Jaden Daniels? He'll give you his opinion tomorrow. He's really excited to come on. He used to sit in the upper deck with Mark Davis back in the day when he was at Cal and going to games. So Lee has a great history with the Raiders. He's going to join us tomorrow. But I'm not interested in any trades right now. There's a big rumor rumbling through Raider Nation and the podcast blogosphere world about trading for Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott would be a major upgrade around this place. Major. Dak Prescott's a hell of a player, but people would say the same thing. Well, he can't win the big one. You're right. He's got a full career ahead of him. He's got another 8 to 9 years in him. And people in Dallas are throwing that out. Hey, Raiders, do you want to take Dak off our hands? We don't want to give him any new money. Well, Raiders would have to give him new money. But we just paid Jimmy Garoppolo. Thank God Jimmy gave us a little present on the way out, failing a test. So we didn't have to give him $11 more million guaranteed. Aiden O'Connell doesn't cost much money. And Gardner Minshew, yeah, he's making decent money. He's making decent backup money who can become a starter. So the Dak Prescott rumor, which is running crazy in Dallas, I'm not jumping into. I mean, remember, at this time last year, I was the Pied Piper to try to get Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady. If I can go back in the hot tub time machine, I wouldn't change a second of that. I'd do the same thing. If you told me Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady were ready to go and maybe the Raiders, I'd be all over that again. We ended up with Jimmy Garoppolo, a very good guy. Very good guy, and Jimmy Garoppolo. It didn't work out here. So now we brought in another really good guy in Gardner Minshew. Really good guy. Loves the Raiders. Met Ray Guy, Ken Stabler, Fred Biletnikoff, his dad met. I mean, here's a guy who wanted to be a Raider. So we got him here. We got a head coach who wanted to be a Raider, Antonio Pierce. Levi Edwards did a great piece on his career and history. Really good. I'll tell everybody to go to Raiders.com and go check that out. So I would put that here in the chat. Dak or not, I'm not going down that road, but a lot of people are hitting me up with that. And I'll just say that I think we got the quarterbacks. I think we're set at quarterback. We're set. Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew give us life.
Yeah.
They give us life. They can go win games with this team and get this team to the playoffs. I'm confident with that. But they are not elite. They are not elite. Jimmy Garoppolo wasn't elite, but Jimmy Garoppolo won 4 playoff games. And Derek Carr played 9 years and didn't win a playoff game. We got to go back to Rich Gannon, who's very similar in the arc of his career to Gardner Minshew now. And Gardner Minshew is even younger than when Gannon came to the Raiders. So you can look at it any other way you want. Jaden Daniels will be super expensive to get. Michael Penix will not be. J.J. McCarthy's in play with everybody. Why wouldn't he be in play with the Raiders? The Giants want him. The Vikings want him. The Patriots might want him. Why the hell don't we want him? If the guys in front of us all want J.J. McCarthy, I don't need to read another mock draft. How do you get J.J. McCarthy if you can't get Jaden Daniels? Or do you wait till next year where it doesn't look like there's a lot of great quarterbacks coming out next year? Raider fans are really concerned now about the quarterback situation because Raider fans from Oakland to Las Vegas has seen the quarterback struggle in pivotal moments, which could be make or break games getting us to the playoffs, going back to Derek Carr. We need better quarterback play, period. You want to coach them up? You want to have a competition? You want to get them all fired up? You want to sit one, start the other in the preseason and do that? Whatever you need to do. We need to know the opening game, who's going to be the quarterback, and it better be a clear decision. It better be obvious to everyone in Raider Nation that Aiden O'Connell outplayed Gardner Minshew or the other way. Because if the Raiders do get Jaden Daniels, he's not going to play. And if they get Michael Penix Jr. at 13, he's not going to play. He will not play. They will not play the quarterback at all until something happens in the regular season or the quarterback is ready to go, like Mahomes, week 10, Eli Manning, week 8. It's not going to happen in the beginning. So we got a lot of shows to fill, Bobby, before that. We got a lot of shit to fill before that. But this time of year, a lot of friends have been telling me, I had a buddy of mine say this the other day. He goes, man, every time this year, I like everybody in the draft. I go, what do you mean? He goes, I like everybody. I like every wide receiver. I like every defensive tackle. I love the corners. I love the quarterbacks. I go, me too. I do too. In the first round. That's why I don't spend a lot of time talking about the second, third round. These guys have 7-round mock drafts, 7-round mock drafts. Get a life. I mean, seriously, get a life. 7-round mock drafts, unless you get paid for that. I get paid to be on multiple radio shows. You won't hear me doing a 7-round mock draft because I don't know who's going to be available. I am positive I know who's going before 13. You ready with me? Let's go. You got 4 quarterbacks that are going to go before 13. Add them up, Bobby, 4. Okay, you're going to get Caleb Williams, no doubt about it, Jaden Daniels, Drake May, and J.J. McCarthy. That's 4. You're going to get 3 wide receivers. You're going to get Marvin Harrison Jr., Neighbors out of LSU, and you're going to get Roma Dunze, the great one out of Washington. What are we at, 7 now? You're going to get Joe Alt, the tackle out of Notre Dame, lock at 8. Where else do you want to go now? Now we're at 8, and we're picking 13. Now I'm sitting here going, all right, where are the other guys going to come from? The receivers and the tackles, and I just gave you the quarterbacks. I didn't mention a corner. I didn't mention a linebacker, an edge rusher overall here. So that's what's happening. 8 or 9 are off the board. No option for the Raiders. They can't even send them a Christmas card. No shot at getting them unless they trade up. So the Raiders are now picking, if they're at the 9th pick, and I think Roma Dunze is going to go 9th to the Bears. Then starting at 10, it'll be 10, 11, 12. Those will be 3 picks before the Raiders pick 4th in the draft overall because the other guys are locks. They're gone. They're done. Forget about them unless you want to spend 3 first-rounders or 2. So with all those guys gone, Raiders can get the best available tackle, offensive tackle, who'd be number 2 off the board, the second best right tackle off the board. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Or the Raiders could get the number 1 cornerback off the board. So if you want to get the number 2 right tackle or the number 1 corner, that's something we should be talking about more. That's dipping the show in reality. That's what can happen here. Or do you want to dream about going up to number 2 with me? Because I've been dreaming about it, and I think it's possible, but I don't know how much it costs. I don't know how much it costs. I'm doing a bathroom remodel now. They came in and my parents are coming out. They're in their 80s. We ripped out the tub. We're putting in a new shower. I know how much that costs. My wife told me. And then you know what she told me 2 days later? It costs more. Well, why? Well, I like this tile better. Oh, really? How much more is it going to cost? Oh, then you like this? So I think I knew what it cost, but then the wife comes back and says, well, beautiful tile here, man. We might as well do that other wall in the bathroom with the tile. Oh, really? Okay. So the price goes up, and up. So they came in today with jackhammers and they demoed the downstairs bathroom. So my folks will have a beautiful bathroom when they come in. My mom won't have to step over a tub at 85 years old. And I just said, hey, man, just tell me what it cost at the end. But we cannot do that. How's that analogy? My tub analogy. But it comes down to this. I think I know what it costs to get Jaden Daniels. I have an idea. Ooh, it's expensive. Oh, but then again, all of a sudden, we're expensive. You see the price of Allegiant Stadium, Super Bowls, everything coming here? It's expensive, but man, we're a pretty rich city now, man. We're the entertainment and sports capital of the world. You know, Rolling Stones tickets are costing me $900. Front, man, that's not 150. It was at Oakland Coliseum. My Stones tickets would cost me like 120. Everything's expensive in this town, man. So if you want Jaden Daniels, got to give up a lot of draft equity. And I wish we would have given up some of that draft equity 3-4 years ago. But the gentlemen who were making the picks at that time, dating back to our friend Reggie McKenzie in Oakland, all the way to Mike Mayock, to Dave Ziegler, they all have great intentions and good intentions, and they hit it out of the park with a couple of picks. Other high-profile picks didn't work. That's why Tom Telesco's here. Tom is here to make sure that we get a really good first-round pick. Really good. By trading up or standing there so we can get out of this draft, we can mention this guy at the draft party. The place will roar and go crazy because two of my recent draft party stories, which I love, hey, JT, you ready to go on stage? Or who are you going to get? Clelin Ferrell? It's Clelin Ferrell. I know him. He played at Clemson. You don't know? You don't know who Clelin Ferrell is? He played on the national championship Clemson team and was their captain. I guess people didn't know. Never pronounced his name. Then the last one, hanging out with Plunkett and Fred Biletnikoff in one of the cabanas. So I'm sitting there going, Tyree Wilson? Okay. Kind of know him. Isn't he the guy that's hurt with the foot? Yeah. Okay, we got him. How'd that work out? I think it's going to work out great. But last year, he came off very slow. He was working through an injury. And all of a sudden, one of his peers had a blow-up year named Malcolm Kuntz. So we got Malcolm Kuntz and we got Mad Max Crosby and Christian Wilkins. We're pretty good up the middle, bringing back some of our tackles. Are we going to get a defensive tackle in the third or fourth round? Why the hell we just get Byron Young? We got him out of Alabama. Can he get on the field? We took Alex Leatherwood recently. He couldn't get on the field. Now you want another offensive lineman, J.C. Latham from Alabama? No. Okay. I think he's better than Leatherwood. I think he's more tested. So we got decisions to make. We're going to make them here with you. Or I can just talk another hour and 40 minutes and get my Modelo's going. Let's get some Raider fans in here. Where is your heartbeat today on where the team is going with the draft? That's the only topic we have. That's why I'm talking Masters today. I'm talking the Final Four. I'm talking about Connecticut being dominant, maybe baseball a little bit later on in the show. So we are loaded up today. We're going to have a big show, and we're going to get you involved in it at 702-365-9200. All right. Knock Andrews says, no way in hell for Dak. Here's James Farrell. Don't like Dak. Look at these guys in my chat. They don't like Russell Wilson. They don't like Dak. They didn't like Gannon when he was in Kansas City. They didn't like Plunkett when he was in New England and San Francisco. All the guys in my chat, they don't like anybody. Yeah, that's great. That's why I love you in the Raider Nation. You don't like anything. You're hardcore Raider Nation. You don't like anything until it's proven to you, i.e. Jim Plunkett proved it to you by winning 2 Super Bowls and a Super Bowl MVP. We didn't like Rod Martin or Reggie Kinlaw. We took him in the 12th round. If we liked him, we would have took him in the 3rd round. They turned out to be legends, right? So it's tough. It's tough to appease a Raider fan. It's tough to tell a Raider fan 2.5 weeks before the draft, this is the guy we want, or maybe trade, because most people are going to say, no way in hell, fire emojis at me. But I'm used to it, man. I love you all. I appreciate you. You put me in the seat. I'm happy to be here. I love my job. I come in every day with passion and energy. I just want to make sure you have some Raider talk here, as I am the guardian of the gate, as all the other fans around this country despise you. They don't respect you. They steal the name Nation. They put it on their team. They talk down about you. They mock you. And I am here to hold down the fort and give the Raider Nation a voice like I've been doing since 1998. The monologue brought to you by PTs. They fuel the monologue. This monologue had some fuel in it. 5 to 7, midnight to 2. Maybe we need a big PT's party, Bobby, to get the Golden Knights going. What the hell happened in Arizona and out in Vancouver? What's going on with VGK? Got to roll up my sleeves and get that going. TJ in Vegas. I'll get you up here before the bottom of the hour. Go ahead, TJ.
Thank
Yes. Thank you.
Need to pitcher the most important position in sports, other than maybe the pitcher in baseball, goaltender in hockey. Got to get the quarterback. If you like one of these guys, we got to go up and get him, no matter what it takes.
Oh no, we can't do no matter what it takes. I need to know what it takes. I'm running a professional sports talk show. Would you give up 3 first-rounders instead of 2? Would you give up 2 first-rounders and a 3? What would you give up? Yeah. All right, I appreciate you. You called in, you have passion, you have an opinion. Thanks for the call. I'm all right with that. Now it's 3 first-round picks. I thought I had us stuck on 2. I don't know if Tom Telesco's listening right now on lunch. I don't even think he has time to take lunch. This guy's a grinder. I don't want him to say, hey, man, JT's talking 3. No, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't want to give up more than 2. 2's my limit, man. Well, I will wait. I'll go free agent quarterback. I'll give Gardner Minshew a try. 3 first-round picks. How'd that work out with Trey Lance with the 49er Empire? How'd that work out? That's pretty expensive there. 702-365-9200. When we come back, the Masters, a preview. Vegas is a massive golf town. Massive. I drive around with my clubs in my trunk. Don't try to grab them. I like to hit balls after the show. We got Masters, and then we go to Jeff Sherman over at the Westgate. He'll tell us about how Yukon crushed the world last night. They not only won, they covered the spread, and they dominated, and a lot of people bet on them. And a lot of people bet on them to win, and they were right. How did that affect the local casino corridor? We'll check on that as we open up the show. I wait around all day for this show. My wife says, get out of the house. Construction today. Can't do it from home. So I'm here. I'm rolling, man. I got good velocity today. I got my fastball going, and I don't need Tommy John surgery. Resorts World, Doghouse Saloon, Wally's, the restaurant, 8 Cigar Lounge, Mulberry's Pizza. Check out what they're doing at Zook Nightclub at Resorts World. Wow, how about that monologue, man? Who the hell else can do that without reading off a teleprompter? Come on, man. I'm fired up today.
And then not have that look on your face like, or wake up in the morning on the 26th and say, what the hell is that?
So get Brady at 35?
No, you're getting Brady at 29 because we got to get Sherman in too.
I'm going to play that Tiger cut that you sent me.
Yep.
About a minute.
Yep, good.
All right, sure.
1, 2, 3, 4. That's
I don't think we need that if it's a minute. No.
I only have the 2.
All right. So,
We already played the first one.
okay, take it out. Yep. While you're playing that, dial Brady.
Most advanced screw ever with our latest safety technology and zero emissions. The 2024 Subaru Solterra. Love is now electric.
Go and grab my coffee, which I forgot. The Iceman's here today. Josh Robertson. Dak is miles ahead of what we have now. So is Russell Wilson, too. Knock Andrew. I wasn't alive for Plunkett. That's good. We need some young people in here. Oxnard Rob. Go in on the franchise quarterback. David. Sawicki. Let's get a cornerback or a right tackle. I like right tackle more than corner.
Crush. My friend went and she lost 20 pounds in the first 2 months. So does Mark Patrick hypnosis work? Oh yeah, it works. Nothing has changed my life more. Well, except maybe my husband. He's so proud of me. Makes me cry.
Oh my, that's teaching. What are you waiting for? Join Mark Patrick's seminars and use the weight loss stop smoking guarantee. Early bird special only $49.99. That's right. Weight loss seminar Saturday, April 13th at the Santa Fe Station Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas at 11 a.m. Registration 10:30 a.m. Stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Registration 1:30 p.m. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com. This is JT from Aldi's Pizzeria, famous
Soft
New York
opener
style cold
today.
fire brick oven
What's
pizza
that?
that you crave. 4 locations.
Sock
opener at Fenway today.
Ooh.
On the street.
Yeah, I saw Albert Breer, who lives there, tweet first time he's seen opening day tickets for $60 at Fenway.
Not about.
Yeah.
See, I used to wait till the game started, then I get like a $10 roofing seat out back.
Mm-hmm.
Never stop building. From the asphalt on our roads, the concrete in our buildings, the solar fields.
Opening day is amazing, man. I probably went to 2 or 3 Yankee ones, but I was real young.
I think the last one I went to was against Detroit was like 93 or 94.
Right.
Because I was going to school like literally around the corner. Like I get out of school and have pass by Fenway every day, so I
Seems
just
like every
stop,
day
grab
another
tickets,
lawyer claims to
go
be
hang out,
Nevada's
have a couple
best.
beers.
We know Nevada. Like we know there are 5 species of rattlesnakes here, 6 if you count insurance companies. No one knows Nevada like we do. The Richard Harris Law Firm. Call 444-4444. Get ready, Las Vegas. It's time to usher in a new era of our city sports history.
So we got 3,000 subscribers. So I need you to click on subscribe. Click on subscribe, please, and the like button. Thank you very much.
Our Las Vegas Lucky Sevens host squads from Boston, Dallas, and Nashville for 2 total intercessions from Pro Flag Football's opening day. Tickets start as low as $16, and special group rates are available for all seating levels. Grab yours today at AFFL.com and be part of history. Who's up for some free concerts? Fremont Street Experience. Since it's new, mini conference series, free April Fridays. Next up is Alien Ant Farm. Mr. Scan the Ataris, April 12th. The free shows continue with the legendary Sugar Hill Gang. Into the Men Tag Team on April 19th. Wrapping up the free concert series is Len Friday, 26th. Fremont Street Experience is the place to be every Friday in April. McFadden Industrial Hardware is your one-stop place to shop with everything.
I'm thinking just talking to the chat, I think the Commanders really want Jaden Daniels, man. Now everybody's going Jaden Daniels, number 2. If he was number 3, I think we could trade with the Patriots.
The best happy hour in town, 9 to 7 p.m. and midnight to 2 a.m.
Well, this term has meant so much to me in my life and my family. I think I've been playing here for 29 years now, and it was the ultimate to be able to stay in the crow's nest and to watch Byron and Sam and Dean tee off on the first hole. And it's been a part of my life to have won here as my first major as a pro. Hugging my dad as you saw.
I'm gonna double check that number. It's on the server.
What?
022407620.
It's meant a lot to me, and I always want to keep playing this. And today we got a chance to play with Fred, and Fred's been here, a very long time. And we're joking that he's the oldest person ever to make a cut. And
Hey,
I think he can do it again this year. It's great. I mean,
Good, man.
that's the neat thing about this golf course. And there's so many here with
I got it.
each and every year, and you get to tell stories and catch up with friends, and for me, get a chance to catch up with idols and people that I've looked up to my entire life.
That's Tiger from the Masters. I watched him warm up today. They have great coverage live at the Masters, and he was having fun there with Freddie and Justin Thomas, talking to everybody, smiling, looking to be in pretty good fit shape. I welcome in a guy I've watched the Masters with more than anyone other than my dad, Brady Cannon from Sports Grid, and a writer for PGA Tour, and one of my great friends, and a guy who's fantastic from a gambling sense when it comes to golf. And Brady, I know this is your wheelhouse, man. Feeling good. Should be a great weekend. How are you?
Truthfully, I've had a little bit of heat here the last couple of weeks as far as the betting goes on the PGA Tour. I did not have a good Florida swing after having a good West Coast swing. I dipped quite a bit in Florida, but the last couple of weeks in Texas have been pretty good to me. So hopefully we're finding our form headed to Augusta National.
All right, let's get Tiger out of the way. He's fit. He's rested. He's been working on his game. He got there last weekend. He's there now. And length shouldn't be a problem. And I love today, Brady, that he went through the changes at 2, 4, all the changes. He was so right on where the new putting surfaces, the length, move back on 2. The guy's a savant at the golf course. What could get him in trouble here to have him miss possibly the first cut of his career at Augusta National?
Well, I tell you what, you talk about being a savant and knowing that course so well. I mean, the proof was in the pudding in 2019 when he won it. Nobody expected him to win that year. But Augusta has such a strong course history. I mean, look at how guys do well here year over year. The course history is stronger at Augusta than any other tour event we see these guys play. Freddie Couples last year in the opening round at 63 years old, shoots 1 under par and makes the cut. Mickelson last year finished second. Tiger, as I mentioned, wins in 2019. That's what he has going for him. And to your point about knowing this course so well and the changes, that's what he still has in his bag, and he'll never lose that. But it's the physical aspect. I think the game could be okay at one, given 4 days or 1 week out of the year. But if you look at the last 6 tournaments Tiger's played in, he's had to withdraw in 3 of them. Mm-hmm. That's not a pretty picture, and honestly, it's possible that we could see it here again. You and I both hope we don't see that, and Tiger will never admit this, JT, but I think him making the cut this week, finishing top 40, that would be a big win in the rest of the golf world's eyes.
Brady Cannon's our guest. For Rory, I want to talk about shaping the drive. If he can hit at 340, he doesn't have to worry about bunkers at 290, even the one that they extended to 313. He's okay, but can he shape the shot, the draw, and the fade? We know he can bomb it down the middle here, and I never thought that Rory was a great putter at Augusta National. Added in nerves, the legacy play, and I just don't think he always left the ball where he needed to around Augusta National. Is this a chance for him now to put his complete game together?
I believe it is. I mean, he's such a good player. We can probably say the same thing every year. And he comes in off of a nice finish in Texas. He was never in contention, but he put together a good final round. And you mentioned working the irons in both directions. His game has been really volatile this year. You've had some weeks where his irons have been lousy, but the putting's been really good. And then the next week, the putting will be lousy and the irons are good. I mean, in Texas, for the first 3 days, he was perfect with strokes gained off the tee. And then on Sunday, when he put together his best round, he wasn't as good off the tee, but he was great around the greens and stuff. So it doesn't appear that he's put the full package together off the tee, on approach, and around the greens, and obviously he'll have to do that this week. I tell you, though, it's like half a dozen years we've gone into Augusta with everybody talking about Rory and completing the career Grand Slam. We saw the number on him drift all the way to 15-1, which is about as high as the price we've seen on him in quite some time. And it almost felt to me like maybe people have just kind of written him off. And when people do that, that's a lot of times time to bet on a guy.
Brady Cannon's our guest. Check him out at Sports Grid. All right, a couple of bullet points on some golfers. We'll go quick to get your picks and spend the most time there. John Rahm, I love the comments that I've heard coming in here. Look, he's been playing in shorts with a DJ behind him. No pressure. None of those events matter at LIV. We're not going to dive into LIV. I understand it's a money grab and what's going on. That cannot prep you to play in majors. But then again, last year, Koepka looked like he was ready to go. He's got the Champions Dinner coming up tomorrow night. Rahm knows the whole world's watching. Is there any value in Rahm here, or has the value been taken out because people don't think he's tuned up enough?
Well, I do believe there's value in the number. I mean, Scotty Scheffler is so short at around 4-1 or so that I think that elevates, basically the next choices in Rory and Rahm and on down the list a little bit. John Rahm should probably be closer to 10-1 rather than like 13-1 or so where he is. So I think there's some value in the number. That being said, I'm not getting involved. You mentioned the Champions Dinner, the defending champ angle. Nobody's defended their title here since Tiger in the early 2000s. The live circuit, he's had a number of top 10 finishes, but is yet to win. I don't think he's really found his comfort level there. You talk about, golf playing loud, the music and the shorts, and I really don't think it's his cup of tea. And he's come out and said, I'd kind of rather play 72 holes and this and that and the other. So, there's a lot of distractions that just simply come with being the defending champion. I imagine he'll play very well. He's still one of the top 3 players in the world, in my estimation. But I would probably rather bet on a top 20 or a top 10 finish than I would for a repeat victory.
Wrapping it up with Brady Cannon. I love Spieth. He had one of the worst 12th holes in the history of Augusta. He can putt better than anybody, get up and down. He'll leave it in the right spot, and he'll attack the flag. I love his short game here. Sometimes not strong off the tee. This would be beautiful coming off the beatdown that happened in Rome for the Ryder Cup. If Jordan Spieth can catch a couple of those live golfers and put on a green jacket again, what do you think of Jordan Spieth?
I really like him this week, JT.
Wow.
I mean, he is such a savant at this golf course. He's been here 10 times and finished top 5 6 times, including a win. And it really, you mentioned getting a little squirrely off the tee. It really gave me, a positive feeling seeing what he did last week in San Antonio. He was 4th in that field for strokes gained off the tee and 15th for driving accuracy. And he was also top 20 for strokes gained approach. That tells me he's in order as far as the ball striking goes. And as you alluded to, we know he finds another gear in terms of the short game here when he walks down Magnolia Lane and tees it up at Augusta National. This guy, he was 4th last year. I think he missed the cut the year before, but was 3rd before that. He's really just kind of a top 5 machine. And if you're going to finish top 5, you've got a heck of a shot to win.
All right, Brady, many times me and you have had a cerveza together, a Modelo together, and I'm screaming, I like Xander coming in. I'm all over Xander. And Xander can't close. He closed at the Olympics. I think he should have multiple majors by now. There's just something about him on Sunday. I think his game is built for Augusta National. Long enough, a wizard with the putt, coming out of the bunkers, whatever he has to do. Tell us what you think of Xander Schauffele.
Well, you hit all the points there, and probably the biggest one is we don't see him win all the time, and we saw him surrender a lead at the Players' Championship just not long ago. But I'm with you. This guy has 6 top 10 finishes this season. He's got 3 top 10 finishes at Augusta, including a runner-up. I think you could argue he might be the second best player in the world right now to Scottie Scheffler. He's on my card. I took him at 18-1. And, he just seems to finish top 5 and top 10 all the time. And that's probably another good bet you could make. But I couldn't pass it up. He just does too many things well. He checks off too many boxes for him not to be on my outright card. I think he's got a heck of a shot. And maybe that, coming up short at the Players' Championship, stuff like that adds scar tissue and experience. And maybe if he's in that position again this week at Augusta National, he'll find a way to get it done.
Brady Cannon. Brady, last one. I like Zalatoris a lot. I'm a big Tony Finau fan. Leave us with a matchup that our gamblers can bet on here starting Thursday, a matchup that you really like.
Well, we talked about Spieth, and I like Jordan Spieth to beat Brooks Koepka in a full tournament head-to-head matchup. I think there's a lot of love for Koepka out there off of what he did last year. But he's been struggling as of late, the last few go-arounds on the live circuit. Now, you can say that doesn't matter, and all he cares about is majors, and there's no question he may threaten here once again. But I like Spieth over Koepka. And the other one I like is Joaquin Niemann, a live player who has just been outstanding. I think a top 10 player in the world in my mind. And I like Joaquin Niemann to beat the Masters debutant, Wyndham Clark. Yes, the U.S. Open winner, has never played the Masters before. He's got the game for it, but you have to figure this course out before I think you have a lot of success. I wouldn't be surprised by a good week by Wyndham Clark, but I think a better week and a possible win by Joaquin Niemann.
It's true, the one who won in their debut, wasn't it Fuzzy Zeller?
Yeah, 1979. Yes. Hasn't happened in a while.
Fantastic. At Las Vegas Golfer. What a Twitter handle. At Las Vegas Golfer. Get all his picks. Subscribe to what he's doing. He's fantastic, my good friend Brady Cannon. Brady, I'll see you over the weekend. Thanks, bud.
Thank you. Enjoy the Masters,
You
my
got
friend.
it. That's Brady Cannon, a tradition unlike any other. He won the Super Contest in football back in the day. He's sharp. He's a friend. I trust him. At Las Vegas Golfer. What does it say here in the chat? Real Talk Raider Nation said, is this a Raiders radio station or a golf radio station? It's a sports talk show. It's the Masters this week. We're talking Masters. Jeff Sherman from the Westgate on what happened last night. Ooh, Yukon. Yukon took a lot of money in for their bettors. Those Yukon alumni made it big. JT, live from the studio, La Casa Cigars at Tivoli Village. I love La Casa Cigars. I love going there.
Reading all the analysis on Michael Penix Jr. And you can
All right.
comments on the arm.
So as we're trying to figure out some stuff, when I put this,
people
when
said
I put
about
that
CJ
little
Stroud.
headset
The
there,
guy
you can hear,
makes
right?
plays from the pocket. He makes plays from the pocket. And it feels like
Sounds actually
sometimes
pretty good.
we get into this, well, he's not a runner. Okay. And CJ Stroud got criticized for that as well. It was great.
The Morning Tailgate, weekdays at 7 a.m. on Raider Nation Radio, 920 a.m.
Boyd Gaming is the official and exclusive local casino. So these are all the live reads that were updated. Good, thank you. Sit there, 10 casinos across the valley. Don't let the game get out of hand. Please bet responsibly. Hey, it's JT since 1995. Black Hole Fan Club has been the foundation of the nation. Over 40 chapters worldwide. If you bleed silver and black and want to connect with other diehard fans, then visit theblackhole.com and become an official member of football's most notorious fans. You get a Black Hole members-only shirt, 20% off all merchandise, and much, much more. Plus, you'll get exclusive access to member-only events and tickets. Become an official member of the Black Hole today. Visit theblackhole.com. Ray, these are my live reads, man. I need some from
don't
you.
even live here.
And Shauna,
Say
please.
Nevada,
This is why I do
they're
my
not
magic.
from around here.
Right?
They think our capital
Got to
is
get
Las
something
Vegas.
from you.
They're not from around here.
All of our
Like Richard
clients,
Harris.
please.
And I am
We'd
from
like to
Nevada.
give them more
I grew
live
up here.
reads.
I went to school here. I raised my family here. No one knows Nevada like we do. If you've been injured,
Oh, yes.
Richard Harris.
So last night I watched Yukon win. That was pretty incredible, man. I mean, just absolutely incredible.
The taste of your favorites. My fresh.
I can't believe how great they were.
Savory taste. Parmesan bread is available at your neighborhood Portasubs for a limited time. At portasubs.com or our app. Hey, sports fans, it's the herd. In sports, we often talk about a difference maker. Well, in business, there are difference makers as well. Ford Country in the Valley Auto.
Can you do me a favor? Just lower this a little bit.
You get the Ford Country difference.
I think it's a little bit
Free dent,
loud.
scratch, and windshield repair, and key replacement for a full year. In addition to great service and unbeatable pricing, you get game-changing protection exclusively at Ford Country in the Valley Auto Mall. Check them out online at Ford Country.
One of these guys on the chat, I should hire to be my. Podcast guy.
Perfection with a deep passion for agave. It's the most awarded tequila. You'll immediately notice its beautiful packaging, and after just one sip, you'll experience how smooth it is. It's the Penhania tequila, the single highest quality. 100% all-natural handcrafted Comisario tequilas, Blanco, Reposado, and Añejo. Tequila Comisario, a proud partner of the J to the Break Show.
Detroit. Boyd Gaming is the official and exclusive local casino partner of the Las Vegas Raiders at Allegiant Stadium. Bring your friends, have some fun, but always bet on black. Visit their 10 casinos across the valley. Don't let the game get out of hand. Please bet responsibly.
Tom got a new ride. Hey, Tom, sweet ride. Thanks, Jim.
Hey, Tom, sweet ride.
That's my ex-girlfriend. Thanks, Marcy. Did Tom get a raise? Did he win the lottery? Nah, I just got a sweet loan from One Nevada Credit Union. Smart move, Tom. Thanks. They have great terms, low rates, and an
All
easy
right,
approval
man.
process.
Let's keep it rolling. We got a NFL Insider coming up. It's pretty good. So looking forward to that coming up. Let me double check that. Ryan Wilson from CBS. We're going to have him on talk about the Raiders draft.
One of the largest independent auto repair shops in the valley. With 23 bays, over 12,000 square feet, Zip Zap is your one-stop shop. Offering 24-hour smog test,
behind the scenes in the brick house. Let's get some more subscribers, man. I don't want to get stuck at 3,000. I want to go from 3,000 to 5,000 to 10,000.
No appointment necessary.
So let's get some people to share this channel, please.
At Cheyenne and North Durango Drive.
In sharing the channel.
ZipZapAuto.com.
MB says the Raiders are going to trade up for Jaden Daniels. I can feel it. I can't feel it. I don't feel it right now. I'm hoping it happens. I can't feel it.
Benjamin hit big and so can you with Gambler's Bonus. It's why you play the game.
Welcome back to the JT the Brick Show, brought to you by Local 872, your workforce solution.
And the second verse is the same as the first. Yukon repeats as national champions, the third team to repeat in the last 50 years. 75-60 the final. The Huskies back to back national champions.
Westwood won on the call. What a dominant performance by Yukon over Purdue. I thought Yukon would win and not cover the spread. They blew them out as we bring in the great Jeff Sherman at Golf Odds, a must-follow, especially with the Masters. We'll get to that in a minute, the VP of Risk Management over at the Superbook. All right, Jeff, tell us what happened with Yukon. Before the season, people betting on them mid-season, start of the tournament, and then they win easily. What was the damage?
Yeah, they bet them throughout the year, but when their odds got low and they were less than 2-1, it helps with the liability. And we actually needed UConn from a future standpoint. Mm-hmm. We had Purdue liability that had mounted when they got near 10-1 themselves. They were raised throughout the year. So from that perspective, we were good. Last night for the game itself, a lot of sharp and public support on UConn, going from -6.5 to -7. So the game was a small loser for us.
Let me ask you about Purdue. I thought they had a great game plan early. They had to get UConn in foul trouble. Danny Hurley's losing his mind. Zach Edey has a great game. I thought that was part of the formula until the rest of Purdue didn't show up. They didn't take many shots and knock him down. It seemed to be all Zach Edey. For some prop bets with him, what he looked like going into that game, he was a monster.
Yeah, I mean, I know we had his rebounds at 12.5. We got a lot of over support for that. Same thing with the points. So they were really pro Edey on the proposition. A lot of the other players they went under on, and it was a low scoring game. So that's what a lot of players tend to look for in the final. I mean, in the Super Bowl, you see a lot of the public bet over on all the props. And something like this for the college basketball championship, we tend to see a lot of under bets for lower scoring games that people think is going to happen.
Jeff Sherman's our guest. All right, Jeff, we've been texting, and I appreciate your insight, but our audience didn't really hear about Caitlin Clark and the number overall. And you've been doing this a long time with a great reputation. Walk us through the difference between Caitlin Clark and other college basketball players on the women's side as she produced one of the biggest handles in the history of gaming.
Yeah, the difference is there's a huge difference. I mean, you can't even compare where we've been down this path. Let's just say the final for the women's game on Sunday was equivalent to what we can write on a Thursday night NFL game. So it's exceptionally large, and we haven't seen anything like this in a women's game. And that surpassed our all-time record previous Monday when they played LSU. And we knew going in with this game on ABC, not cable, that we'd have a record handle, and it was there. So it was good to see.
Jeff, this is the biggest question I'm going to ask you on this topic, and I might never ask you it again. We have the two-time defending champs, the Aces, here in town. What will Caitlin Clark do to the handle of the WNBA? Because I've taken a lot of calls on this nationally on this show. People say I'm not going to watch her at the WNBA. Other people say they're going to sample it. They're going to come in here. But I've seen the ratings for the WNBA final compared to the women's Final Four, and it's not close. What can the WNBA be optimistic about going forward with her coming into the league and the handle overall, the amount of money being bet in the sport going forward?
Yeah, I hope during the season we revisit this. I'd love to talk about it because I expect good things to happen. And, we've had the futures up for a few months now, and we've already seen a record handle in anticipation of this. There's tickets on every team, which sometimes at this point you might have a few teams that don't have any tickets, but we're already seeing that. Even moving on the fever odds ever since there was anticipation of her going there from 35 down to 20-1. And you can just see it in the Aces moving one of their two games from Michelob Ultra Arena to T-Mobile Arena to satisfy ticket demand. And along with that comes betting handle. So the betting handle on the WNBA will go up, and I think eyes on it, TV will go up. And I believe the WNBA is already expanding out TV to Europe, I saw today, from TNT. So it's only going in a positive direction, and it's going to be enhanced greatly with Caitlin Clark there.
The great Jeff Sherman, VP of Risk Management over at the Westgate. All right, let's get to your specialty. Tiger spoke today for our listeners who want to bet on Tiger to make the cut. to finish at a certain level, to win the tournament. What's changed this time is Tigers coming in with not a lot of preparation behind him other than at home in practice.
Yeah, that's just it. He's got one competitive round under his belt this season at Riviera. He had to withdraw after that round. So it's tough to be supportive of him. His odds are all the way up to 150 to 1.
Ooh.
He did take earlier in the year $1,000 at 80 to 1, but now he's 150 to 1. So what we're seeing a lot of is prop bets involving Tigers.
Mm-hmm.
Like you mentioned, the cut price. We opened no minus 135. We've gotten a sharp play on the no. We're out to no minus 150 and yes plus 130. His first round score 74.5. I've seen sharp play on the over of that. So a lot of anti-Tiger support this week.
Okay, Scotty Scheffler, any value there? I know people have been betting him up for months, let alone the last couple of weeks. And in Houston, he didn't win, but he was pretty sharp. How's Scotty Scheffler looking?
He's a 9-2 favorite.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say much value left. You could have had him 8 to 1 a few weeks ago before he went on his run and almost won 3 straight tournaments, winning 2 of them. So you could have gotten some value a few weeks ago. I can't fault anyone for supporting him because his metrics are blowing everyone away. Outside of his putting aspect, his tee to green is top notch. And so you expect him to be there on Sunday. And it's always tough to find somebody who you just want to be in the hunt for. So can't fault anyone for supporting him. I think 5 to 1 or higher might be a starting point for value. Right now, 9 to 2 is where we're at, and I've seen 4 to 1 out there.
All right, let's jump into the Masters props. 72 hole winning score. What do you have there in the lowest completed round at Augusta?
Yeah, we have 276.5, and we're seeing over support for that. We opened it flat. We're up to over $1.50. Lowest round 64.5, and that's a pretty standard number to make year in and year out. Last year, the lowest round was 65. They can get to 64, but we get good two-way at the 64.5 number. We opened over $1.70, under plus 50, go all the way down to the over minus 140, under plus 120. So we're seeing under 64.5 support.
Jeff Sherman joins us. What about the prop? A live golfer winning. You got John Rahm, you got Mickelson, you got DJ, Patrick Reed's won there. Brooks Koepka is on live. What are the odds of a live golfer winning the tournament?
Yeah, last year it was higher on the no because it didn't involve Rahm. So you throw Rahm into the mix this year. I opened the live golfer winning no minus 350, yes plus 290. Actually, seen some sharp play on the no. So we're at the no minus 380, yes plus 320.
Jeff, as we wrap it up at 40 to 1 and 35 to 1, there's some really good golfers here. There's some good names from Fitzpatrick, DeChambeau, Dustin Johnson, JT, Cantley, Cameron Smith. There seems to be some value in that range.
Yeah, and that's what happens when you get such an overwhelming favorite with Scheffler down low, and it's going to increase the odds on everybody else. But some of those guys are in poor form recently, so they're not seeing too much support. So if the action isn't there, we'll keep bumping them up to try to entice some.
Thank you, Jeff. Enjoy it, man. You do such a great job. Love talking to you before the Masters. It's a great tradition for us. Appreciate you.
All right. Thanks, JT.
Jeff Sherman, VP of Risk Management. So what we've done over the years, my buddy Brady, who just came on before him, we all have Masters shirts. I went to the Masters. We all have Masters shirts. And we'd go to the Westgate, and Jay Cornegay and Jeff Sherman would give us a Masters viewing room. Oh, my God. You want to talk about buckets of Modelo's. You want to talk about sitting there throwing them back. I don't bet, but I'm sitting there watching my guys bet on every hole. I mean, going crazy. So if you want a spot to watch the Masters with the sharpest gamblers in the world, head on out to the Westgate. They'll treat you like a rock star. Thanks to Jeff Sherman there. So an hour of radio was done today. Did a 20-minute monologue on the Raiders and what they want to do. Did a little golf. Did the odds of the of Yukon last night winning. Now, they had some liability on Purdue overall. That was a great Final Four, women and the men. And Jeff liked the question about what's it going to look like in the future for the WNBA. This is a WNBA town. Mark Davis has the 2-time champs going for a three-peat. Everybody talks about the three-peat of the Kansas City Chiefs because it's the NFL. Vegas is trying to get a three-peat in the WNBA, and Caitlin Clark's going to be coming to town. How big's that ticket going to be when they come here? And Vegas is a big draw when they go on the road. When we come back, all right, second hour of the show, I'm keeping the streak alive. I'm sure Q's doing the same. 2, we're going to have Ryan Wilson on. We're talking to draft analyst every show. Tomorrow will be Lee Steinberg. The super agent's going to join us. I got a couple of more coming in from NFL.com and from the Raiders. And then with 2 weeks out, we go big with Raider insiders coming in with their pick, along with my pick as the draft is around the corner and everybody in Vegas loves an NFL draft party. We'll tell you what the Raiders are doing, what I'm doing, what we're doing with podcasts, special programming, and all that on the flagship of the Silver and Black. I say goodbye to my friends on YouTube. I gave you 59 minutes of behind the scenes of Raider Nation Radio. JT the Brick YT is where you can subscribe and see what we're doing in the building here. Hour number 2 on deck on the flagship of the Silver and Black. Thank you, friends. Appreciate you. Man, for those who said be consistent, I'm doing this every day, man, every day. Let's read a few more before I sign off. MB, Washington wants Caleb. Chicago's not going to get rid of Caleb Williams. Chicago's taking Caleb Williams.
Brought to you by Finley Chevrolet, home of the...
All right. No live stream tonight. I usually do one on Tuesday. Not tonight. I have plans tonight. We'll do one on Wednesday. New podcast with Looney, JT and Looney. Wherever you download your podcast, please hit subscribe and like. And we'll keep this going, man. A lot of good things happening here. We're going to really go balls out with the NFL draft over the next couple of weeks here. Appreciate you joining me on the YouTube live stream.